Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel and happy Friday. It's Friday evening where I am right now. I know that you might be somewhere else in the world. So really, wherever you are and whenever you're finding this video, I am setting the intention that it holds some kind of a meaningful message for you, because the collective that I'm tuning into tonight, I feel, is processing a really deep kind of grief, like a soul grief. And that's the best way that I can describe it. Because what I'm picking up on is that if this reading is for you, first of all, the words that were coming out really strongly were black sheep. And I'm also getting the sense of someone who has always felt like a bit of an outcast. And very specifically, I'm picking up that the person I'm tuned into here may have actually felt like the black sheep of their family or the outcast in a social environment or a group of people that actually should have been their greatest supporters. And I feel that I'm already feeling so much emotional energy coming through. I could tell I got that wave of emotion just about an hour or so ago, and I was kind of sitting with it and trying to process it. And I realized that this is something deeply collective, which is why I wanted to come on here and share this reading, even though I know this is outside of my typical posting schedule. But what I was getting very strongly is that if this reading is for you, you were someone who felt like an outcast around the very people who, in most cases, would be a person's greatest supporter. And you actually have become so accustomed to supporting yourself, to believing in yourself, and not expecting the people around you to believe in you or to support you, that you've developed this kind of hyper independence, this tendency to believe that you have to do everything on your own, because that's, I'm hearing for some of you, how you were raised or how you were trained, or just the environment you were born into. That's just been how it's been for you. And I feel the reason this is coming up for you now is because your spirit guides are really moving in here in this next phase of your life to help you release that, to help you release the need to always be the one taking care of other people, believing in other people. And I feel that what's happening is you are being given, or maybe if you haven't received this yet, it's what's coming in for you. And maybe it's going to happen in the future, and that's why you found this video, because you're meant to know about it in advance. But what I'm getting is that you're entering this phase of your life where I'm hearing the dream holder, the one who always held their own dreams, but also held the dreams of so many other people. Because what I'm getting for you is that many of your dreams, I'm hearing first in a generation. I feel like your dreams have encompassed things that you've wanted to do, not just for yourself, but to actually shift your lineage in some kind of way, to like break free of patterns that have been running through your ancestral line for a really long time. I feel like you've always had this sense in your life of wanting to create a dream or a vision or do certain things in your life, not just for yourself, but to pave a pathway for people around you. I'm hearing supporter. I'm hearing it's time for the healer to be healed and the supporter to be supported, because I feel like you've always been the one to support others. You've always been the one to heal others. Something about your presence, your energy is deeply healing to other people. And I'm hearing that a really sad truth that you've grappled with in your life is that you've always been a healer for others, but your healing often you've found only comes through your own energy. But this isn't actually forever the case. This has been your experience, but I feel that your spirit guides are coming through, like delivering a message through this reading, if this is for you, if it's, of course, checking out to your own intuition and feeling aligned for you. I feel that you are meant to know, almost like take this as a forewarning that you are going to be supported and healed and assisted by other people in more ways than you can possibly imagine. People that want to support you, people whose presence is going to feel like a warm blanket wrapped around you, that are going to heal parts of you that you didn't even know were still kind of like broken or hiding or looking for healing. Because what I'm getting is that you've always found your own energy to be very healing. Most likely you're someone who's always been very introverted for this reason, or at the least, even if you have that ability to be extroverted, you've always had to pull back into your own energy. And it's because you are the healer. Your energy field is a healing presence that others tend to rely upon, but you often also are healed by your own energy, not necessarily by other people's energy. But again, what you're going to find, I'm hearing it's going to surprise you. And maybe for some of you listening, you're already experiencing this and you may have manifested this video because maybe it's been confusing. Like my whole life, I've been the healer, but now I'm in the presence of someone or something that actually feels like it's healing me in a sense, or touching a part of me that I didn't even know was hiding, or maybe illuminating something I didn't even know was there. That's kind of the sense that I'm getting in this shift in your life. And I'm hearing you don't have to carry it anymore, because I feel like for the collective I'm tuned into here, you're carrying something very heavy or something that's become very heavy. And maybe it's a feeling of guilt or over responsibility for other people, or the need to always be adhering to what other people desire out of you. I don't know what this is for you, but I'm just hearing, put it down. You don't have to carry this anymore. And in fact, you can be held. It's time for you to be held. It's time for you to be healed. It's time for you to be supported through beautiful, fulfilling, deep connections in the same way that you've always done that for other people. I'm hearing the tide is shifting, the tide is turning. And it's almost like you are now, it's almost like karma, like things returning back to you, but positive karma, like you are attracting back to you. And I keep hearing like 10 times over, you are attracting back to you multiplied all of the love, care, and support that you've always given to others. And so if you're feeling a deep feeling of grief right now, and I'm getting for some of you, this may be around very specific people or connections in your life who are refusing to really truly see you. Because I'm getting the word dismissive. You may have people who have always been dismissive of your dreams or your visions or your goals for yourself. People who, I'm hearing, they were seeing your dreams through their own limitations. So it doesn't even necessarily feel malicious, just that they were seeing you through their limitations. But I feel like you've always been this natural born dreamer that didn't really have the same sense of those limitations, even in periods of your time, periods of your life that were very dark for you. I feel like you always had this deeper sense that your dreams were going to come true. And maybe you're in that darkness right now and you're thinking that to yourself. And if that is the case, I want you to know this isn't delusion. This is your soul guiding you through that darkness. Your soul can see the entire picture, whereas often our human physical selves can only feel or see a few steps ahead. And maybe this message and this video can play a role in helping to encourage you to carry on if you are currently in that darkness. For some of you, maybe you've come into the light, but there's still this grief, like you've achieved a goal or a dream or a vision, or you're on track to that, but there's this grief for the people in your life who still are not seeing you or honoring your dreams as sacred, even though that's always been the kind of respect that you've given to other people. And so It's so strange the way that I felt guided to get on today. I just didn't really know where this was going, but I felt someone really needed to just hear this message of comfort. If this is you, that you're on the right track, that I'm hearing whatever light you're seeing in the darkness is real. So maybe you're in some kind of darkness, but you have this sense that you're on track to something, that you're moving towards some kind of light. And maybe you needed that reassurance that it is happening for you, even if there are people around you that don't understand it. For others of you, I'm hearing this as a message because that grief you're feeling over people in your life that haven't been able to see you, it's coming up right now to clear space. It's almost like a very, very deep energetic wound. For many of you, I'm getting this even comes from childhood, and I'm seeing crayons for some reason. This could just represent like being a small child and like, coloring or drawing. Maybe someone is an artist or they are a painter or something like that, and your love for art started in childhood. That could be a very specific message for someone. But what I'm getting is that regardless of whether it's that specific, it's almost like you're in a beautiful way, in part reverting to that playful, childlike, exploratory kind of version of yourself, that inner child that isn't afraid to play and to explore, to create, to just use their imagination, which as an adult we would call like visualizing your dreams, visualizing your goals. I feel like you're returning to that version of yourself more and more all the time. But this also speaks to the fact that as you're doing that, there is this really deep wound that's coming up to the surface that's almost asking you to see it, to acknowledge all of the ways that you were never fully seen and supported, so that you can clear space for that kind of support. I'm hearing for that sacred exchange of energy with new people and new connections that are going to be entering your life. Now, for some of you, this actually could be very literal, because in some cases it may be, I just saw the number 222 on the recording timer, but it may be that this is occurring for you, or these wounds are coming up for you because someone or something new entered your life recently that brought this softness out of you, or that brought this playful, childlike energy out of you. Now, maybe this was a person, maybe this was an opportunity or something in your life, but I'm feeling like it's very possible recently something came up or in your life or came into your life that really saw you and really supported you. And the reason that then after encountering that thing or that person, you would be feeling all of this deep grief is because I kept hearing, you know what I kept hearing? I kept hearing this line the last few days, where does it hurt? And it's almost like someone's coming with like this healing ointment and they're saying like, where does it hurt? But they're talking emotionally. And it's almost like, I feel for some of you, this is a literal person. This could be a friend. This could be like a supporter. This could be, I'm getting for many of you, it is a potential romantic interest, but it's almost like someone entering your life and providing this like safe, sacred container for you where you can let that softness emerge. I'm hearing where you can like unveil yourself in a way you're not accustomed to doing, because I feel that when you've been in environments that have been very harsh, I kept also hearing like flowers through concrete. You've been like that flower somehow growing through a crack in the concrete, even though its environment was completely counterproductive to its growth. And by the way, I just have to pause and say how proud I am of you for doing that, because wow, it's like I look at this trajectory of your life and I see this just like solid slab of concrete, and anyone would look at that and say, nothing should be growing there. It shouldn't be possible to grow there. And yet there you are, this flower coming up through this crack in the pavement. And I'm hearing it's almost like No one suspected it. No one could have predicted it, but you always knew in your soul that you were going to grow regardless, and you never gave up. As cold and harsh as your environment was for your growth, you never gave up on yourself. You never gave up on your dreams. Now, if you're in the middle of trying to grow in what feels like concrete, maybe this is your message of encouragement to keep growing, because to keep pushing for that, because it's going to happen for you. You're going to be that flower in the concrete. So take that however it's connecting for you. But what I'm getting very strongly is that there's just this deep welling sense of pride amidst the grief. It's like this feeling of, wow, we did it. But it's like you talking to yourself, or you talking to your inner child. And I feel that, again, if a person entered your life recently that provided this kind of safe container of energy, and I'm getting it wasn't so much about appearances or about anything specific that this person said or did necessarily. There may have been those things going along with it, but it's like a frequency transmission. I'm getting that either someone recently or someone soon will be entering your life who like transmits this frequency to you that creates this sacred container where you feel comfortable unveiling yourself, showing your softness, revealing your vulnerability in a way that you're not accustomed to, because you feel safe, because you feel supported. But in the process of that, because you're now seeing the contrast between how that feels, how that frequency feels versus how that harsh, difficult, maybe even toxic environment felt, that contrast, it's almost like bringing up this deep grief of like, wow, I can't believe I coped with this lack of this kind of support, or a lack of this kind of frequency and energy in my life for so long. It's almost like you're finally putting something down that's been really heavy. And while you were carrying it, you were just shoving down your emotions and persevering through. But now that you're allowed to set it down, you're finally like letting that grief come to the surface. And it's actually so healing. And in the process of releasing that deep soul grief, it's actually meant to clear space for this beautiful kind of love and support to come into your life. But I keep getting that something has to be internally acknowledged. So it's almost like you have to acknowledge to yourself some way in which you were unseen or unsupported, or to acknowledge to yourself, wow, in spite of all of my circumstances, I did this. And to actually lock in that sense of self-acknowledgement, that sense of pride for what you've been able to accomplish through this harsh environment. But also, it's like in doing so, you can release that deep grief energy and clear space for this support that's entering your life. I'm also hearing like affirm what you want love to feel like, what you want to connection or friendship or community to feel like to you, and lock in that new frequency. Like once you've acknowledged the harshness and the heaviness that you've been carrying and everything you've been holding for other people, it's almost like you're being asked to put that down and then to affirm to yourself what you actually want love and connection to feel like. So this even could be a really great journaling exercise where you can really journal in and connect with that part of yourself, maybe even that shadow aspect that went through those periods of time that were really dark, where you felt really alone or really unsupported, because I feel like for this collective, that's coming up really strongly right now. But then I feel at the same time, journaling in an affirmative way, describing what you desire love to feel like, and community and support, and to acknowledge to yourself that is coming into your life, that it's going to be made available to you, and to truly believe in that, and to believe in your ability to receive that and in your worthiness of it. And throughout this process, I know I'm about to be doing some of this practice myself. I've already lit a candle and I have some sage as well burning. But I am personally going to be using subliminals through this process because I find these to be so deeply energetically clearing and recalibrating. I have seen the most powerful positive shifts in my life using subliminals almost every single day now. And I really do notice when I don't use them because I don't feel nearly as clear or aligned. I especially feel the benefit of them when I listen overnight while I'm sleeping. And I know many of you do as well and have left comments about this because your subconscious mind really is more open while you're asleep. So this is a really ideal time to listen to a subliminals playlist of different tracks that resonate with things in your life that you are desiring in this new phase, this phase where you are loved and supported and creating some kind of dream or vision. And I would so love to be part of that journey with you. So if you are interested in incorporating some of the subliminals I've created into your routines or your sleep time rituals, whatever that is for you, then I will leave a link to my Subliminals app. The name of the app is Sound and Soulful. So of course you can find it just by searching that name in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. But I will also be leaving a direct download link to the app just for your convenience in the pinned comment and also in the description box underneath this video. Now, if you really want to supercharge this process, because I feel like this almost quantum shift taking place for you, there's so much I want to say on this. I can tell we're going to do a lot of future videos on this, but to really catalyze this process, if you're ready for that, if you're truly ready to fully step into this new phase of your life and to start seeing those changes very quickly, I really would recommend my Highest-Vibrational timeline subliminal and also my quantum connection subliminal. And I actually would recommend putting these together in a playlist if they both resonate with you and the affirmations in them connect for you, because Highest-Vibrational timeline will really connect you in with the timeline that is most connected to your heart, where you are experiencing the manifestations that are most in harmony with you in that like core state within yourself in all areas of your life. And quantum connection is more so, obviously, as you can tell from the title, related to the kinds of connections, whether romantically, platonically, community-wise, opportunity-wise, that you're attracting into your life. It's meant to place you in that perfect position in the quantum realm to attract in the perfect, most ideal people, things, opportunities, and situations in your life. So both of these do come from my Subliminals app, and you can find them by using the search feature, which is under the All Audios tab in the app once you have it downloaded. And you can sign up for a 7-day free trial account in the app as well. Try it out for free and see how, even with just a few days of listening, these subliminals start to shift your mindset and your life. So all of the information on that is below, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here. As I said, I'm sure we'll be sharing a lot more on this in the future, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And otherwise, I am wishing you all a beautiful remainder of your day and Friday evening or whenever it is, wherever you are. And I will connect with you here again in the next video.